Today we're talking all things taper, and in particular the workout that I swear by and I make sure I do in every single taper for a 10k, half marathon and a marathon. What's up guys, Andy Forest Steam Runner here, out on the industrial estate of dreams, and as I said in the intro, we are going to be talking very much today about tapering, and in particular, as I said, the workout that I swear by. And I do every taper from a 10k, half marathon and a marathon, a one size fits all type of workout. But before I tell you what that workout is, Lee's with me tonight, and Lee is doing 8 by 1k reps because his goal half marathon is 2 weeks this Sunday, whereas mine is this Sunday, so he's 2 weeks behind me. 2 weeks extra to train, so hopefully he'll be fit and ready for Cardiff half on October the 6th or whenever it is. So today we're going to crack on with the workout. I'm going to get it done, and then at the end I'm going to tell you exactly why I love doing this type of workout. But before we do, know in the comments below, before we jump into this workout, what your favourite taper week workout is, and of course, do you have any taper week superstitions? What do you swear by, and what do you make sure you have done by your race day? And without further ado, let's dive in. So there we go, boys and girls, workout complete for tonight, feeling absolutely great. I'm going to go back now and tell you exactly why I love this type of workout. First of all, before we do that, I nearly lost my big toe. Well, I didn't nearly lose it, but I nearly got stabbed by it. Look at these pictures. So I was just running along the pavement here, and obviously with there not being any rubber outsole on the Rincons, that thorn went straight through the sole, straight up through the materials, left a hole in the shoe. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, back to the office. So there we go guys, 7.6 miles done and dusted in the Hoka One Rincon in taper week, in the workout that we're just about to talk about. Before we dive into that, I don't know if I can show you the damage. I don't know if the camera is going to focus. You might be able to see just this little piercing here. So that thorn went right up through there, came out the top of the midsole there, through the fabric. Absolutely insane. And there's a word of warning to all of you. I just didn't even think about it, and I'm glad kind of that it's happened to me, because I can kind of share my experience with you. If you have this shoe or any shoe with limited outsole rubber on, just be careful where you're running. Simply what had happened is they've been cutting hedges along the industrial estate and left a load of debris all over the pavement, and I was just happened to running, and I was running so fast, there was a bike coming the other side, so I just pulled into the verge, running at my interval pace that we're about to talk at, and yeah, it went straight through. When I looked down, absolutely gobsmacked. I felt something brush past my big toe, and so lucky. So just a word of warning there. Has anything like that ever happened to you? Blimey, I'd love to know. Anyway, enough of that. So let's talk about the workout that I love to do in taper time. Now, this video is called How to Taper. What I would like to cover specifically is the workout that I always do in the 10k, half marathon and marathon. But if you want some taper tips, I did do a video on how I like to taper back in March or April when I was tapering for the marathon. I'll link it up there or there, whichever side it is. And that gives you a bit more of an all-round feeling as to what I like to do. But this specific workout I've been doing now for over a year, and I absolutely love it. Now, more often than not, I can get the taper right, but also more often than not, I can get it wrong. It really is a 50-50 chance. Tapers, for me, are a bit of a hit and miss, but I can guarantee that if I do certain things in a taper, that I'm going to feel at least fresher. And over the years, I've managed to make sure that the mistakes that happen in the taper period get less and less and less because of the things that I'm starting to learn as a runner. And the workout is no different. Now, I've done workouts, shorter workout intervals. I've done weeks, 2 weeks where I've done nothing, no speed work at all. And I've done weeks where I've done too much. And this workout for me is what has kind of literally felt perfect. I end up rocking up to race day feeling good. Whatever happens on race day happens. It's nothing to do with the workout. If something goes wrong, it tends to be another reason. But I always get to the starting line feeling fresh. And the workout that I do is 4 by 3 minutes on and 2 minutes floating recovery. And the reason I do that, as I said, is I've tried no running for 2 weeks, no speed work for 2 weeks, just kept it easy running, and I felt very sluggish when I get to the start line. I feel like my legs don't want to turn over, and it's a real hard job. It takes me a few miles to warm into it. I've also, as I said, gone the other way and done too much, kept 2 workouts a week and a decent long run, and then in the week before the workout, before the race, I've still done 2 workouts just to try that. I did that ages ago. That was a disaster. Got to race day and felt flat, and then about a couple of years ago, I got down to the point where I was just doing 1 workout in the week leading up to it, making sure it was Tuesday, 5 days out. You hear a lot of things on the internet and training guides and everywhere that you do need to keep some speed work in the legs. It's just about reducing the volume, but relatively keeping the intensity there. And for me, 5 days out seems to work an absolute treat. Why 3 minutes? Well, I've tried 2 minutes, I've tried 1 minute, and again, I kind of get to race day feeling a little bit flat. I've also done mile repeats in the week before, and I have again felt absolutely overtrained. So I've done 1 race, half marathon, a couple of years ago, where I did 4 mile repeats, on the Tuesday, race on the Sunday, and my legs were just absolutely dead. They just got to about 7 or 8 miles, and I felt really flat. And I'm going to touch wood here and say that I have done 4 by 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off for the last goodness knows how many races I've done, and there has not been one time where I have rocked up to a race feeling flat. And that is a combination of a variety of other factors, but also it's a combination of not overtraining. The whole overtraining thing is something I used to do a fair bit back in my first 2 or 3 years, because I didn't understand the concept of tapering. But as I've got better and slowly trying to master the craft of running and tapering in particular, which is just something I think we all spend our lives trying to master, it's something that I have finally got the hang of, and it's something that I think when you find works, you stick to it. So as I said in the beginning, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I'd love to know what your go-to workouts are. Now for me in particular, this workout is really good because I tend to run it around 10k pace, and the goal is by this point, 5 days out, you want that pace to feel relatively good. Now for me, I was running in the 540s and 530s last night at a heart rate that was at my marathon pace heart rate, and that is because my body hasn't really had a chance to get revved up, and I'm not fatiguing it that much yet. I can imagine if I'd have done 6, 7 or 8 of these reps, my heart rate would have got much closer to my threshold, but because I was doing limited work, my heart rate was staying nice and low, so I wasn't stressing the body too much, and I was keeping control of my heart rate, watching that all the way through. So that felt really good. And number 2, it's 12 minutes worth of work. Those are the key things here, is not to stress the body too much with the heart rate. I never take myself up to threshold pace in race week. It's just kind of like what I would describe as tempo pace, maybe slightly less again, and just 12 minutes worth of work. Now you have to bear in mind that I do a lot of workouts that are 20, 30, 40 minutes in terms of work, especially during the peak of training. So some races might be even, marathon training might be even longer. So to do just 12 minutes worth of work 5 days out from a race at a heart rate that's not too intense but is quick enough at 10k pace to get my legs ticking over nicely is absolutely perfect. It's the combination of speed and a low heart rate, not too much stress, waking up the next day like today, feeling absolutely fresh, like I could go out there now and run another workout. And the beauty of it all is that last night when I started the workout I felt fresh, and when I finished I felt fresh as well. So that's my workout, guys. As I said, I'd love to hear yours, and obviously what your taper superstitions, tips, all of that stuff are. Absolutely love to hear it. Leave it all in the comments below, and do let me know if you've had any issues like that with the shoe. That was scary stuff. So there we go. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please hit that subscribe button. Like it, share it, do all that good stuff. New shoe review coming for you next week. Cannot wait to get my feet into these bad boys, and I will see you then. Until then.